In addition to representing injured workers, we also represent family members of a family who has had someone perish at sea. And the damages recoverable in this tragedy depend on the applicable law. The Jones Act allows pecuniary damages for those Jones Act seamen who perish at sea. These damages include loss of financial support that the family can seek. And this looks at what the deceased individual was earning, what support that individual was able to provide to their family, and the family's now lack of that support. Jones Act wrongful death also allows recovery for any medical or funeral expenses incurred for the deceased individual following their incident up through death. These can be very substantial depending on the nature of the case, depending on how much treatment the Jones Act seaman received before dying. Jones Act wrongful death claims also allow a limited survival action for pre-death pain and suffering for the deceased worker. And this is, like many other causes of action, very fact-dependent. You look at the pain and suffering that individual had to incur between the incident and their death. So for a drowning case, for example, we will sometimes hire medical experts to testify as to how long someone likely survived after a shipwreck in water before they perished. Really the torture that person had to go through between a shipwreck and dying. That is relevant to a survival action under Jones Act wrongful death for pre-death pain and suffering. It allows us to ask a jury to put a number on that. Under the Death on the High Seas Act, otherwise known as Dosha, the damages are very similar to wrongful death damages recoverable under the Jones Act. Pecuniary damages in addition to a limited survival action for pre-death pain and suffering. Dosha, the Death on the High Seas Act, will apply if the death occurs outside of 3 nautical miles from a coast. The Jones Act will apply if a death occurs to a Jones Act seaman within 3 nautical miles of a coast. The Jones Act and the Death on the High Seas Act unfortunately do not allow for recovery of loss of love, loss of companionship, loss of society, the pain and suffering of the family members who lost a loved one.